Good evening, everyone. I welcome all of you for the webinar on finding happiness. I request Dr. Sapna Suri to take over the session.
A very good evening to one and all. Myself, Dr. Sapna Suri, Associate Professor and MD Course Coordinator, would like to welcome you all on today's webinar on finding happiness. I wish to throw some light on our university. DY Patil deemed to be university is UGC recognized, AICT approved and NAC accredited. We at DY Patil deemed to be University School of Management have a state-of-art infrastructure. We provide 100% placement assistance. We have a 3-year BBA course, admission for which is open. We have a 2-year MBA course, admission for which is open. Due to this pandemic, we are providing provisional admission to the students. So whoever wishes to take an admission can get in touch with us. I would now like to introduce to you Dr. Vani Kamath. Dr. Vani Kamath is currently the Dean of School of Management. She is a business management graduate and a postgraduate from Bangalore University. She has completed her PhD in finance. She has more than 35 research papers published in national and international journals of high repute. It includes Scopus Index and UGC Care journals. She has 16 years of teaching experience. She has been awarded with Best Teacher by Higher Education Forum on the occasion of Teachers' Day. She was also the Board of Study member of Mumbai University affiliated colleges. I welcome you, Dr. Vani Kamath. I would request Dr. Vani Kamath to go ahead with the corporate presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sapna, for your introduction. Let me just share the screen. First, I'm going to present all of you with the corporate presentation, and then I'll speak for some time. DY Patil Group was founded by our own founder, Dr. DY Patil. He's a former governor of Tripura, Bihar, and Kolkata. He is also the founder chancellor of our university. Along with him, we have Dr. Vijay D. Patil, the president of DY Patil University. He is also the president of DY Patil Sports Academy and the president of MCA, that is Mumbai Cricket Association. We also have Dr. Ajinkya D.Y. Patil, the president of Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University and the president of D.Y. Patil Group. D.Y. Patil University, Navi Mumbai, was established under Section 3 of the UGC Act, and it is NAC re-accredited with E grade. It is one of the 10%, it is top 10% Indian universities. We have our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Shirish Patil, who is the Honorable Vice Chancellor, and he is the ex-Dean of DY Patil Hospital. Now, presenting to you all our own DY Patil, deemed to be University School of Management. The school is located in Sector 4, CBD, Belapur. The various recognitions which we have got are Times Business School has ranked DYPUSM as 11th in Mumbai. Outlook India magazine has ranked us 63rd in all India level. Careers 360 has ranked us amongst top 10 in Maharashtra with the AAA grade. Business Today has ranked DYPUSM as 34th in future orientation, and Business World has ranked DYPUSM on the 94th position. I'm also glad to announce that DYPUSM was awarded second prize by HEF on innovation. Our students have also added the feather in our cap by winning various awards. One of the such award which I would like to mention here is they have got the award in innovation for inventing wireless home machines. DYPUSM has also got an award in excellence in education. NIRF is a body which ranks educational institutions based on various parameters. So I'm also proud to share with you all that DYPUSM or D.Y. Patil University has been ranked as 88th in the university category in the year 2019. The intellectual capital of the institute are the teachers. So we have our senior teachers who have bagged awards from various institutions. Our students have participated in various cultural and extracurricular activities, and they have bagged awards at the national and the international level, and some of the glimpses are there in front of you. Our teaching staff, our non-teaching staff. We offer 3 types of courses: BBA, MBA, and PhD. In MBA, we have MBA in Marketing Management, Finance Management, Human Resource Management, Operations Management, Systems Management, and Entrepreneurship Management. Apart from this, we are the pioneers in introducing sectoral programs like International Business Management, Sports Business Management, Health and Hospital Management, Pharmaceutical Industry Management, Biotechnology Management. All of us know that these are the upcoming areas or the booming industries because of the pandemic which we are facing now. Banking and Insurance Management, Logistics and Supply Chain Management, and Aviation Management. We have an intercollegiate event which is known as Colosseum, wherein our students participate with full enthusiasm. Some of the glimpses of that. The cultural activities are known as Paramount, which is a 4-day event wherein students participate with full enthusiasm. So some of the glimpses of that are there in front of you. DYPUSM also believes in giving back to the society. So we encourage our students to participate in various drives and campaigns which are conducted by various stakeholders. So some of the examples which we have are, we have conducted plantation drive recently. We have also conducted road safety campaign for the benefit of the students. We have certain social projects which are a part and parcel of our curriculum. So our faculties take our students to villages and help the villagers in getting the products sold. So some of the examples are Drishti and Tasa. These are the testimonials which we have received from our recruiters. So they have praised our students, and they have told that our students are committed towards the organization and they are very good in their work. So some of the glimpses of that you can see here. Everything ends when the students are recruited in good companies. So some of our recruiters are PepsiCo, Voltas, Lenovo, Raymond, Tech Mahindra, Amazon, SBI Card, Marico, and many more. In the banking and insurance sector, we have S Bank, IDBI Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, Dhanlaxmi Bank, and many more. In the health and hospital sector, we have Apollo Hospitals, Fortis, Seven Hills Hospital, Saifi Hospital, Hinduja Hospital, and our own D.Y. Patil Hospital, Navi Mumbai. You can have a look at the admission brochure which we have here. As I told you earlier, we run BBA and MBA programs. So under BBA, we have these many courses. And if you need any further information related to the courses, you can contact these people. This is the brochure of MBA. So we have so many courses like core and sectoral courses. Depending on your interest area, you can choose any of the courses. Admissions are open, and you can contact the people for further process. Apart from this, I would like to mention one more thing. As all of you are aware, we are having the leadership series of webinars. And this is the 5th webinar which we are having on the topic finding happiness. So after this, we have 2 more webinars which is lined up in the weekends, next weekend, that is on Saturdays and Sunday. On Saturday, we have a webinar on public relations, how to maintain public relations and what are the things that a person needs to know to have this. On Sunday, we have another webinar on logistics and supply chain management. So it will be very useful for the students who are interested in their career in logistics and supply chain management. So we request all the participants to be a part of those webinars also. The information will be given to you soon on the WhatsApp groups which are created by the faculty already. Thank you so much. So with this, I come to the end of the presentation. But before leaving, I would like to put in highlight and give some highlights on today's webinar. So we have observed that happiness is something which everyone requires. So without happiness, we cannot be in a proper state of mind. So it is a state of mind and everyone will not be happy always. So it's very essential for us to understand what are the ways in which we can remain happy even during the toughest times of ours. So we have a very good faculty with us who is a very good orator, Ms. Snehal Dumbre. So she will be taking through the journey of happiness. And I hope all of you are going to get good knowledge about happiness, and also you would like to know what are the ways in which you can always keep yourself happy. Right. With this, I would like to end my talk for a few minutes, and over to you, Sapna.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vani. I would now like to introduce to you Professor Dr. R. Gopal. Professor Dr. R. Gopal is basically an engineer from IIT Kharagpur in mechanical engineering. Subsequently, he did his MBA, ICWA, PhD, and postdoctoral research degree. Currently, Dr. R. Gopal is Director, HOD, and former Dean of D.Y. Patil Deemed to be University School of Management. He has more than 27 years of corporate experience at Bush India Limited, Larsen & Toubro, Tata Economic Consultancy Services, and at Siemens. Additionally, he has more than 30 years of teaching experience in various B schools in and around Mumbai in areas of marketing, finance, and general management, etc. He was also the visiting faculty in several B schools in US. In USA, he has conducted several programs on topics like how to do business in India. He has also published more than 200 research papers, both in Indian and foreign journals. He has been awarded the Best Outstanding Research Paper at Asia Pacific Marketing Conference held in Malaysia. He is also a reviewer to several international journals, having a high impact factor. He is well conversant with the rules of AICTE as well as UGC, also the new Education Policy 2020. He is guide for MPhil and PhD students of several universities in India. More than 100 research scholars have received their PhD and MPhil degree under his guidance. He is also the author of several books and is a chief editor to several national and international journals of the field. Additionally, he has written several books on management, which have been highly received by the student and corporate community. To name a few books which are published are Marketing Strategy and Application, 2nd edition, Himalaya Publishing House. Case Studies in Business and Industry Management, Indian Context, Himalaya Publishing House. Few books are under process, which are Research Methodology, which is under print, Marketing Finance, which is under print. He has successfully conducted several webinars on topics like impact studies due to COVID-19, National Education Policy 2020, career development, and many, many more. He has also conducted many national and international conferences. The latest has been on the theme Make for India Go Global. Dr. R. Gopal is also recipient of many awards. To name a few is Rashtriya Vidya Saraswati Puraskar awarded by International Institute of Education and Management, Rashtriya Vikas Ratna Award awarded by Economic Growth Society of India, Rajiv Gandhi Education Excellence Award, Best Teacher Award awarded by Higher Education Forum, Best Management Teacher Award in Management Education by MTC Global and Knowledge Cafe, Educationist Award by National and International Compodium, New Delhi, Star of Asia Award, and many, many more. His motto is to transform every student into an achiever so that every student will create a success story. I welcome you, Professor Dr. R. Gopal. I would request Professor Dr. R. Gopal to address the participants.
Good morning to all of you. Hello. My apologies. Good evening to all of you all. I say good morning because right now I'm in the US, and in the US it's now morning. It's morning, I would say 8:30 or so. So a very good evening to all of you all. Good evening to Sapna, Snehal, Vani, Shreya, and all the participants who are there on the YouTube, Facebook, etc., etc. You know, the year 2021 has been a year of hardship, a year of high level of stress, a year of pandemic which is more severe than the financial crisis which took place in the past. There have been heavy recessions in the past year, and this is continuing into the year 2021 also. The world GDP is dropping. Indian GDP growth rate has also shown a decline. And for the year 2020, the government of India estimates has been, there is a contraction to minus 7%. Some say it is 10%. And the next year, that is 2021, the GDP is likely to grow. There have been several disruptions in the manufacturing and service sectors. Unemployment seems to be increasing rapidly. Work from home has become the new norm. And this work from home has created a lot of stress and unhappiness amongst various people. Students who are opting for placements in April 2021 are facing a lot of challenges. The second wave of COVID-19 is said to have started in January 2021. The main causes being the new variants, no masking, no hand washing, and no social distancing. Consequently, many states, practically all the states in India, have either declared full lockdown or declared partial lockdown. Additionally, vaccine shortage, ICU shortage, oxygen shortage, bed shortage, you name it, we have the shortages in all front on the medical side. By December 2021, around 216 crore doses of vaccine would be available, which would be sufficient to vaccinate 90% of the target groups. Experts are already talking of a booster dose to be given after 6 to 8 months. And not only that, experts are also saying, especially the government panel, which says that COVID wave 2 might disappear by July, and COVID wave 3 is likely to come after about 6 to 8 months. The very beautiful silver lining that we have is the new drug 2-DG or 2-deoxy-D-glucose. I will come back to this and perhaps in a more detailed and deeper manner on a later date. Last year, we started a new series called the Knowledge Series. The objective of that was essentially to do what we higher education are meant for, that is, spread knowledge. And to that extent, we did about 45 webinars throughout the year. And like the last year, the government has already planned and announced postponement of 10th standard exams, the NEET exams, and the graduate exams in some universities are also postponed. Generally, the postgraduate classes begin in the month of July, August. But that got postponed to the new year, January 2021. And many students consequently did not take any admission, and thereby they lost one full year. As I mentioned, the second wave seems to be more serious because of the various parameters, the various causes that I talked about. The unemployment rate has increased. And my biggest worry is that the migrant workers have started going back to the villages once again. In May 2020, when I made the assessment, I said India would recover by July 2021, but this now looks to be difficult. Under these circumstances, what should students do? Should they postpone by another year? The answer is no. Please take your admissions as fast as possible. And I see a big rush in this year. My colleague, Dr. Vani Kamath, spoke to you about the various facilities that are available in our School of Management. I want to talk about a few important issues which are really concerning the students. On the course content, we have modified our syllabus to include new age subjects like data analytics, digital marketing, AI, etc., which is in line with that what the industry requires and what is commonly known in the industry circles as Industry 4.0. We have again modified the way in which the course is taught. We have redesigned the pedagogy completely, so as to make the students make the entire teaching interesting and not boring. We've redesigned the pedagogy so that students can ask questions. We encourage that. We encourage students to be inquisitive. And we, through our pedagogy, help the students in various problem-solving techniques, analytical studies, analytical analysis. We help them develop an emotional stability, and more importantly, what industry requires, the holistic development of the child. This was possible only because of our faculties who have taken several steps to ensure that our students become employable. Another very critical item that we did was, since last couple of years, we have been tying up with various industry organizations. We have signed MOUs with World Trade Center, Indian Merchant Chamber, Global Export Organization, MSME, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, New Delhi. The objective of this has been essentially to bring about a new industry institute interaction. And through this, we organize guest lectures. We provide live projects wherein the students actually go to the industry. Apart from the summer project that they have for 2 months, in the third semester of the MBA program, they go to the industry, work there for 1 day or 2 days in a week, come back, prepare a report, make a presentation. And what is the advantage of this? Many of our students get what is called as a pre-placement offer. And I'm very proud to tell you that in spite of the pandemic, almost 70 to 80% of the students have already been placed with a maximum salary of around 9 lakhs of rupees and a minimum salary of about 4.5 lakhs of rupees. As mentioned by Dr. Vani Kamath, we have started a new series called the Leadership Series. And the idea is, through this leadership series, we want to give an input so that students of our college are successful in the world. And they are able to create success stories, not only for themselves, but also for the betterment of the society in which they live. And to that extent, therefore, we conducted a series of leadership programs. For example, on the beginner's guide to stock market, followed by wealth management, followed by global opportunities in the pharma sector, and so on. Today's seminar or webinar is on finding happiness. And it's very, very important, because if you want to be successful in life, you need to be happy first. And if you are happy, you can spread that happiness. I did a small survey, which is a pan-India survey, and is typically called as the dipstick survey. And I found almost 60 to 70% of the people are unhappy. And you could see that when the World Bank did a survey and classified it as happiness index, it was found that Indians have a happiness index which is at the bottom of the more than 250 countries that they have surveyed. My survey told me, people looked at it and they said, "Sir, am I responsible for being unhappy?" I said, "I don't know." A large number of people said, "Oh, that's because of my karma, because of the past years, maybe past sins, I don't know." But I said, in this world you have, in this life that you're living, you have the opportunity to be happy and spread happiness. And to that extent, we have one of our excellent faculty, Ms. Snehal Dumre, and you can even look at the picture of her, she's always smiling. And I keep asking her, how do you manage it? And she says, "Sir, be happy, that's all." And then I told her that you got to share the secret of your happiness. You can't keep it to yourself. And that is how this webinar took place. So I want all of you all to kindly listen to her, clarify your doubts with her, because you need to spread happiness. You need to be happy and you need to be spreading happiness. There is a large amount of unhappiness. There is a large amount of fake news. There's a pandemic going on. In spite of all of this, we need to be happy to keep our body and soul together. One last point. We've got to beat the coronavirus, and that's very important. We cannot allow the coronavirus to take over us. And if we have to do that, then there is only one method. And what is that? Please follow the COVID appropriate behavior of masking, hand washing, and social distancing like this, minimum 6 feet. As I told you, I'm in America today. This week, or this series of week, I'm going to be in America. And what do I find? people are moving without the mask. And I asked them why. They said, sir, we've been vaccinated. And if you've been listening to what the medical experts say, they say vaccinate, vaccinate, and vaccinate when your turn comes in. And that is the only way of beating this coronavirus. We cannot let the coronavirus overtake us. We have faced a lot of problems in the past. We will have a lot of problems because a lot of people have told me, oh, there's another wave going to come in 2030. I said, fine, let it come. But right now we need to be happy. We need to enjoy life. And therefore, guys, listen to what she says, understand what she says, and please ask your questions so that all your doubts are clarified. Thank you, and God bless all of you all. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, Sapna.
Thank you so
All
much,
yours.
Professor Dr. R. Gopal, for sharing your valuable inputs. I would now like to introduce to you our resource person for today, Ms. Nehal Thamkar Dumbre. Our speaker for today, Ms. Nehal Thamkar Dumbre, she has been keen deep in branding and marketing since the time she started her career a decade ago. Having worked with top-notch advertising agencies like Lowell Lintas and Ajax Media, and for India's largest selling newspaper, Dainik Jagran, Ms. Nehal Dumbre is currently Assistant Professor at D.Y. Patil deemed to be University School of Management and is sharing her industry experience with the students to turn them into a more rounded specialist. Today, Ms. Nehal Dumbre joins us to shed a light on internal well-being as she speaks on a very nice topic, which is on finding happiness. I welcome you, Ms. Nehal Dumbre. I would request Ms. Nehal Dumbre to take it ahead.
Thank you so much, Sapna ma'am.
One very important thing. Snehal Dumbre is also a counselor. Okay. And one of the jobs of a counselor is to spread happiness.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Snehal, all the best to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And a big thank you to Sapna ma'am and Vani ma'am also, along with Gopal sir, for introducing me in the most beautiful manner. Thank you so much. And a fabulously good evening to everyone who's watching me right now. Okay, so let's start with the session. And before we begin, let's smile first. Okay, so while you're watching Sapna ma'am, I can see you're not smiling. Smile. Give me a good big smile. You know how they say, what happens is when you smile, and then when you smile constantly, you know, at various occasions, as often as you smile, your brain gets a message automatically, and you start worrying less, you start stressing yourself less, you smile more, and you're happy automatically. That's one of the shortcuts to finding happiness. But like if you filled up the registration form and that's how you've gotten to know about us, you must have noticed that I had in the last bar, I had asked a question if you would want me to answer any question. And one of the most interesting questions that I had come across was, you know, why are we even talking about finding happiness when it should come naturally to us, right? I mean, don't all of us think that, you know, happiness, I mean, the word being happy or happiness is something that literally should be coming very naturally to us. It's a very obvious phenomena. I mean, come on, we are humans, we are living beings, we are meant to be happy, right? Now, if you come to think of it, actually, when the living beings came into existence, right? The prime factor that we were, born with, or we started existing with, was love, and therefore, which led to happiness. That's something we are already born with. But yet here we are today trying to find out different ways to be happy. You're understanding all these years from the time you were born to now, the mental conditioning that's happened to all of us, or all the various things that we've been through that somehow let our happiness take the back seat. While we have so many things going on in our particular lives or within the country or outside in the world, it's very unfortunate and it tends to, kill our happiness, right? But nevertheless, we are here and we are going to find out how to be more happy. So let's get started on this journey. But as you are with me, I'm going to smile and I'm going to make you smile. All right, it's my job, right? Because I'm going to find happiness, help you find happiness. I'm going to help you spread as much as happiness possible. So keep smiling throughout the session. And I also, it's my aim to make sure that, by the end of the session, all the ones who are watching it live and the ones who are going to watch it later, even if one of you ends up making some sense of this session, ends up being a little, even 2% happier than you are right now, I would consider my job done very well. Okay. So with that aim and with a smile on all your face, look, even my screen is smiling right now. So a non-living being can smile. You are born to be happy, right? So smile and let's get started. Okay. So beginning with, okay. We've been talking about finding happiness. We need to be happy and happiness is gone. But let's try to understand what is it that we really mean by happiness. And when we are stuck somewhere, when we do not know the answers to what it is, what any word means, where do we go? We go to Google, right? So therefore, I've done your job simpler. I've already Googled it for you. Let's look at the Google's definition for what do we really mean by happiness, okay? So just give me a second, yeah. So happiness is that feeling that comes over you when you know that life is good, right? But life is not always so good, right? Life is not always so kind. That's because we think of it that way, right? But when we think that life is good, when we feel that life is good, we are happy, right? And you can't help but smile. See, there's a reminder again, you need to smile, right? So when you know that life is good and when you can't help but smile. So happiness is a sense of well-being. It's a sense of joy and contentment, satisfaction, right? So when people are successful or they feel safe or they feel lucky, they tend to feel happy, right? That's how you get on the way towards becoming happy, right? So while beginning with the few steps that I have mentioned for, getting on the way to becoming happier in your life, the most important step, believe me, I cannot begin to stress enough on this point, how important it is, whether you're trying to find happiness, whether you're trying to find inner peace, whether you're trying to find absolutely any answers to your life, right? This, my friends, is the most important step that you have to, accept in your life. And the step is called acceptance. Okay. No matter who you are, how you are, wherever you are, the way you are, like some people might not be, willing to accept that, yes, I am really angry, or, I am usually a very rude person, or why am I so thin? Why am I so bulky? Why am I so fair or so dark or so dull, so dim, so fancy, so big, so small? But guys, you have to accept yourself the way you are. Realize that, each one of us is ultra unique. Or even if you just use the word unique, it says it all. Each and every one of us is unique, right? Then you will not be able to find another you on this planet, at least, right? So you need to accept yourself the way you are. You need to understand that each one of us has flaws, okay? While I say this and while I'm conducting this webinar on finding happiness, I myself admit I have flaws, right? I was, carrying my flaws till some time ago, till like a minute ago while I was conducting, before I could start with the webinar. So the good news here is you're not alone in this, right? We are all in this together, each one of us, irrespective of your age, size, creed, caste, color. No matter who you are or where you are, you're not alone in this. Each one of us have flaws. We are humans, we flawed, but you cannot beat yourself up because of that, right? So what you need to do is accept yourself for whoever you are, accept all your rights and wrongs. In fact, I would request you to, if you could, quickly jot down a few things on a piece of paper or on your cell phone or your laptop, whichever is more accessible to you. Let's take this up as an exercise, okay? Now, very quickly, just write down, or however, if you want to take your time or do this exercise later also, even better, okay? So you need to jot down a few good qualities about yourself, a few not so good qualities about yourself, right? So even when you're trying to accept yourself, even before acceptance comes self-awareness, right? Before you begin to accept yourself, you need to understand who is it that you are and why is it that the way you are, right? Like we may very easily consider ourselves as, I am very, say I am an introvert, so if I would consider myself as an introvert, there is a history, there is a reason to why I am the way I am. Say if I have anger issues, or I have trust issues, I lack confidence, whatever be it, the way you are, all the goods that you have, all the not so good qualities that you have all of those because there is history to it. You understand heredity, right? Like if I have tall parents, if I have dark parents, the byproduct is obviously going to be tall and dark, right? I mean, yeah, science. So that's how it works. But along with, certain heredity factors, which are a given, after you are born, what happens is, we have our family, we have parents, siblings, other relatives. Then you grow up, you go to school, you have your friends, you have your teachers, your peers. The circle keeps increasing, the circle keeps growing, right? And these people, the society, they tend to mold us and condition our mind in a certain way, right? Therefore, we become what we are today. I'll just give you a small example, right? Now, say we all have our belief systems. We all feel that, we all feel that, okay, for example, okay, we feel we have our belief systems towards vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food or even vegan food right now, right? The vegetarians may feel like, oh, non-veg, no, it's crime, it's bloodshed, it's whatnot. Non-vegetarians may feel, how are vegetarians even surviving? I mean, what are they eating? Plants, right? You're killing anyway, right? So you think you were born with this mindset? Like you just came out and the doctor is saying, yay, this person has chosen to be a vegetarian. It doesn't happen that way, right? So you are, when after you're born, your circle, your environment, the peers around you, they try to mold you knowingly, unknowingly, you're molded in a certain way to be thinking the way you are thinking. So if I feel that, no, I think I'm a little too bulky, I think I need to lose weight. Hello, why? Because the society is asking me to lose weight, right? I mean, you need to be a size 0, you need to fit in a certain bracket. Why? Because the society is asking me to, right? But otherwise, what really matters is what you think of yourself. Believe me, you have like all the people in your life, right? But what really matters is what you think of yourself. And therefore, I'm asking you to accept yourself the way you are. Once you begin to accept yourself with all your good, bad, ugly, whatever that is, with all your flaws, the beauty begins. The magic begins. Believe me when I say this, the magic begins then. Till the time, you don't come to terms with what you really are or who you really are, you're still stagnant, okay? So you start accepting yourself, make a list of all the good, all the not so good qualities you have. You accept those qualities, you accept yourself with love, and you decide on which qualities do you want to keep, which qualities do you want to improve. We all have been taught, right? That being, lying is not a good quality, stealing, cheating is not a good quality, being angry or rude to someone. So obviously these are not such good qualities to have, right? So it's upon you to decide whichever quality you want to keep. The ones you don't like, there is always room for improvement. I mean, that is what life is for, right? So carry on, improve yourself, forgive yourself. If you don't forgive yourself, you cannot move on, right? Most often we try to seek acceptance and forgiveness externally with other people, right? You may want to say sorry to your parents, to your siblings, to your spouse, to anyone, right? And you would want them to accept you for who you are. I mean, come on, haven't we all had that moment in our life when we feel like, why doesn't this person love me? Why doesn't this person accept me? Or why doesn't this person forgive me? Now ask yourself this. Is it fair to expect something like this from the other person when you don't love yourself? You haven't accepted yourself the way you are, but you want to expect that from others. Not fair, right? So therefore, it begins from within. If you are wanting to seek love outside, it always begins with you. You cannot pour from an empty cup. We all know that logic, right? So before, if you wish to spread happiness, if you wish to be in love, if you wish to spread love around you, right? You first need to fill your own cup. And to fill that own cup, you need to accept yourself, you need to forgive yourself, you need to love yourself, and only then will you be able to move on. And a humble reminder, no matter who has said whatever to you that, or has name called you, that you are this, you are that, you are not good enough. Let me tell you today, each one of us, all of you, and you especially, you are enough the way you are, and you need not be good enough for anyone else or for everyone else. Believe me, the biggest trap is when you're trying to be everything to everyone. Guys, that's a trap. You cannot really be everything to everyone. What should really matter is who you are to yourself. And to you, you need to be enough. You already are enough. You already are enough the way you are. And if somebody else does not get that, that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Because you need to know who you are. You need to love yourself for who you are. And if someone else is not getting that, it's okay. But believe me, the moment the self-love process starts, the moment you start trusting yourself, accepting yourself, believing that you are not just enough, you are good enough, damn it. The moment you start believing that, people around you will notice that change. People around you will see the smile on your face. They'll see the way you carry yourself and they'll be like, hey, wait, I don't think I can be that mean to her anymore, because look at her. I mean, I think she's fixed her life. Something is there about her. Look at the way she's carrying herself. They'll notice that you're not just enough, you're good enough, right? So it begins inside, within yourself. It's an internal change that you need to bring about to see the results externally, right? Moving on, another very important, I think I'm going to be saying that for most of the points that I've mentioned, because each one of them is very, very important. But this one, perspective, our entire life, right? From the moment we are born to the moment we are gone, the moment we leave, our entire life is purely a game of perspectives, right? So while you may think that this yellow blazer is not so good because yellow is not your favorite color, for me, I'm like, wow, that's my power color. Yellow is my color. Change of difference of perspectives. Remember in the first slide when I mentioned that each one of us, the way we act, the way we think, it is because of the kind of conditioning that we've had, right? This conditioning also, the byproduct of it is that we build our perspective, we have a particular point of view towards a person or towards any situation because of the kind of conditioning we've had. But what is important is that you become aware that, oh, all these years I've been thinking that this particular community is bad. Why? You have not even given it a thought. It's just been hammered into your head and you tend to believe, oh, this is bad. But remember, that is only your perspective. In one of the questions also that I received on the Google form, I was asked that, if someone is, I'm trying to really help out someone over here, okay? And I'm giving advice to someone, to a friend of mine, and that person, I've been trying to tell that person, don't do this. This is right and this is wrong. But the person does not listen to my advice. And now I'm angered. Like, why? Hello, I've been telling you all this while what is right and what is wrong. Again, who decides what is right and what is wrong? Think about it. There is no rule book to say that, okay, this is right or this is wrong. Again, it's a game of perspectives. It's your entire life is a game of perspectives. What is absolutely staunchly right for me could be completely wrong for you. It's the way we've been conditioned. It's the way we've been brought up. It's the kind of life experiences we've had, right? Your life experiences will determine your perspective. And when you're aware of it, you can change your perspective towards things also, right? By introspecting, by asking yourself, why am I really thinking about this person that way, right? Remember, once again, there are no rights, there are no wrongs. What is right for me could be completely wrong for you. The moment you understand the concept of perspectives, you will tend to find closure in most of your relationships also in life. Like, we all have conflicts with someone or the other. We are human and we are a social animal, right? We are surrounded, our families, our peers, right? The moment you tend to understand the concept of perspective, you will understand, oh, maybe that is why this person behaved the way he did or she did, right? Because the difference between a mountain and a molehill, is perspective. When we are all, when we all face some or the other problem in our life, some might be like, okay, here's a problem. Okay, here's a solution. Okay, sorted. Next. The others would be like, oh my God, we have a problem. Now what? Rather than finding a solution, you will phone up 10 people and be like, guess what? I am in a huge mess. All of us have been there. All of us have done that. And there's no judgment here, right? We've all been there. We've all done that. Again, it's a game of perspectives, right? But the moment you start changing your perspective, that's the time your experiences change. If you are someone who feels that life hasn't been kind to me and life has really beaten me down, or someone, if one of you is watching this, right, then remember, it's purely your perspective. You may think that, I'm nuts and I'm talking about perspective, but really life has been hard. At least try to prove me wrong, right? Try changing your perspective and you will see your life differently. Your experiences are different. For example, the classic example of COVID-19, the unfortunate events that are happening in the world, in our country also, right? Now, each one of us are going to have a different perspective towards COVID, right? The ones who are very fearful would be like, oh my God, the second wave is here. I have a bit of a flu. I'm telling you, it's me. This time, if not for the second wave, third wave is definitely taking me with them, right? Then there are other few who might actually want to thank God for keeping themselves and their family members safe. Then there would be a few like who might be like, wow, this is nice. Thank God COVID hit us. Have you ever seen so many people going for a jog or, suddenly are taking Zumba lessons and whatnot, yoga? People are starting to get fit. I just gave you 3 different perspectives. We have so many people around us. Imagine the number of different perspectives that would be there, right? So this is a classic example. The moment you change your perspective, your life, your experiences will change. Again, judgment. Now, this is one of my favorite topics because judgment is something we rarely, the people that I've interacted with, rarely even think about the concept of judgment. Especially when we are on social media, a celebrity comments something or a politician says something, okay? How quick are we to reply, this person is a lunatic for even giving such a comment, or we are very, very quick to give mean replies, especially give mean replies, or how easily we name call someone. We would say this person has a very trashy fashion sense, or this person is very dumb, or look at her. I mean, who wears these kind of clothes, or whatever be it. We are so quick to judge others, but it's a trap. When you're judging others, you do not define them. You define yourself. Remember perspective? Yeah. So when I am judging someone, say for being too temperamental, I am looking at it from my perspective. So my judgment is speaking volumes about who I am. My judgment is speaking volumes about the way I think. It is rarely speaking about you or the other person, right? So when we are so quick to judge others, when we are so quick to, do name calling or bully or not, whatnot in the name of judgment, while we are doing all of that, you are purely showing the world and showing yourself about yourself, not about the other person, right? And who wants to be judged? Who likes to be judged? If I wouldn't want to be judged, why should I judge you? It's not, nobody likes to be judged, right? So it's only fair. I don't like to be judged. I won't judge you. Let's keep that as simple as that. Fair, right? One of my favorite topics again. What are you grateful for? Gratitude is something we rarely speak about while we are praying for a better tomorrow. We forget that we can still be thankful for all the things that we have right now. The concept of gratitude is another shortcut to realizing that happiness is there within you. You just need to find it. Okay. Again, another exercise for all of you on your pen and paper, your mobile phones, your laptops, wherever you're making these notes. Another exercise for you. Please note down all the things you're grateful for. I'm sure you must have heard this cliche question in many, many other webinars, or somewhere you must have read it. But believe me, start doing it. When you start writing down all the things that you're grateful for, you will tend to realize, oh my God, all this while I was complaining about not having this, that, and so many other things. But once you start counting your blessings, once you start counting, the fact that you are even alive. I mean, look at the world, right? Look at all that's happening, not even the world, just look around us. There's so many unfortunate situations that are happening. But the fact that I am alive, you are alive, the fact that you are alive, the fact that your loved ones are around you, the fact that you have a shelter, even if it means that it's rented, the fact that you at least have the capacity to pay the rent, to give you, your family a shelter, the fact that you have an internet connection to even watch this video live or later. I just stated the 5 things, like, very, very minuscule things which may not even, like internet connection, vagra, is not even a priority. You have food on your plate. You are able to move your limbs. You are able to use your brain. You're able to listen to me, see me. There's just so much to be grateful for. See, it's already evening. The stars are going to shine bright now. The moon is going to be up. You're going to be able to see all of that, witness all of that. You're alive right now. Isn't that a big enough reason to be grateful for? Now tell me, where are your worries? Now tell me, is it really, really worth worrying about, I don't know, all the things that you are bogging yourself down with, which may have happened in the past, which may happen tomorrow? We don't know. But right now, you and I are here. Right now, you are alive. Isn't that one of the biggest reasons to be grateful for, right? Please, please, even if you don't want to do this right now, push this exercise for a later day or a later hour. Please start counting your blessings. Please start noting them down. You will have a whole different epiphany towards life. You will start realizing all the big, small, fancy little things that you've already been having. And then you will find lesser, very, very, very few reasons to complain in life. And okay, again, reminder, now that we are talking about gratefulness, now we are talking about gratitude, we already must have had some reasons to be happy. So smile, okay? Keep the smile going. Your cheeks should hurt by the end of the session, okay? Focus, right? Like we have the focus on a camera. Our mind also tends to focus on all the different things or on all the different aspects that our life has to offer, okay? So when we focus on the good, we see the good. And when we focus on the bad, I need not continue the rest, right? You obviously know how it ends. So each time that life throws any situation at you, any situation, even Gopal sir mentioned right now, that every cloud comes with a silver lining, every cloud, right? So no matter what be the situation in your life, okay, it may be good, bad, ugly, whatever, it depends upon what you're focusing on, whether the situation is good, whether the situation is bad, whether it's ugly. If 3 different people are put in the same situation, they're going to react differently because it will all depend upon what is it that they're focusing on. If you're going to focus on good, you're going to see only the good. If there is a painting with yellow on one side, pink on the other side, and if you're looking only at yellow, and if I ask you, what is it that you see? You will say yellow. It's as simple as that, right? So if you focus on good, you will get good, right? That's the kind of life experiences you will get. Another lengthy topic that I do not want to touch upon here, but it's a very interesting phenomena. It's a science in all, okay? It's called the law of attraction. Please Google it. Please watch some videos of it on YouTube, or however, if you want to read about it, the book by Rhonda Byrne is called The Secret. Read about it. It will tell you that your life has been the way it is. It has been. It's because of the things that you've been focusing on. If I am watching the news and I see so many unfortunate things happening because of COVID, okay, I am constantly focusing on illness. I am bringing that to myself. A small flu, a small sneeze is going to send alarms ringing into my head that, oh my God, COVID is there. COVID is around me. Oh my God, my maid must have given it to me. My husband goes out. He must have given it to me. Oh my God, COVID is definitely taking me down. That's the focus. The remote to my television, or if I'm watching something on my phone or my laptop, the power lies in my hands. I need to understand, you need to understand where to change the channel, when to shift your focus, when to start watching something absolutely different, something that makes you really happy. That's how simple it is to change your focus. The moment you change your focus, you'll start experiencing different things, you'll start experiencing and feeling different things. If I am watching COVID news, and obviously it's going to make me unhappy, right? I'm going to feel sad for all the families who are losing their loved ones and all that I'm seeing, very disturbing images, right? Immediately, I switch to a nice rom-com movie, right? I'm immediately going to be attracted towards that, and I'm going to start feeling different things. The sorrow, the grief I'm not going to be in that space anymore. So it is as simple as that. Once again, let me remind you, you will get more of whatever you focus on. Introspect, go back into your life memories, go back and see what are the things that you've been focusing on. If it's the good part, you will get more of it. If it's the bad part, like I said, right? And then this is a new concept, rather very, very, very new to me that I came across, and I think everyone should know about it. Now, the concept is called possibility thinker versus problem thinker. Okay. So say, if I decide that, COVID is around and I want to get fitter, okay, not that I want to body shame myself, but if I just decide that, I can always get fit, I think I should start jogging or something. So that is my aim, that I want to get fit, okay? Now, when I start thinking about whether to not reach this goal, whether to not reach this aim, I can look at it in two ways, in the way of possibility and in the way of problems. Now, I could tell myself that, I actually want to get fit. I love jogging. Believe me, I've always been an athletic person. I love doing all that. But you know what? I have two small kids and they keep me up all night. I mean, how do I wake up in the morning then, no? And how do I go jogging? I mean, don't you know, it's corona outside, right? I mean, and if I have to jog, I'll have to still wear a mask. Then how am I supposed to breathe? And if I take my mask down, I mean, oh my God, so many reasons. Yeah, I could actually enroll for one of these workshops, free workshops for teach Zumba, yoga. But no, I don't have a yoga mat. And while I'm taking these sessions, my kids might disturb me, right? My goal, and I've already listed down 3 problems, 4 problems. That is how a problematic thinker would think. But if my goal still remains the same, let's try and understand how a possibility thinker would think. Okay, so what is given? My goal, that I want to get fit. Now, the other thing that is given is, yes, I have 2 very ultra naughty kids. Now, what to do? One, I'm not sure I want to go outside and jog again because of health concerns. But yes, I can always find space at my home to have a jog within my house itself. And guys, believe me, I have done that. Okay, during the first wave, I've done that and it's super easy. It's super fun. Secondly, if I think that even while I'm running within the house, if my kids are going to come and jump over me and disturb me, let's turn that into a fun activity. You just need to get fit. You just need to burn those calories. You just need to get your heart pumping so your lung functions fine, right? Why don't play around with your kids? Make them jog around with you and done, as long as you're losing that many calories per day, right? I could, if you come to think of the possibilities, I can list n number of them, and so can you. It is just that we give into these excuses. We give into it also, depends upon how determined you are and how disciplined you are towards reaching that particular goal. And whenever you are at that point of time, at that point in your life where you are deciding on something, please ask yourself this: are you thinking like a possibility thinker or like a problematic thinker, a problem thinker, right? The moment you start giving excuses, you will realize where you are. Believe me, once again, I'm saying this, no matter how big or small your task is, even if it means that You have to take a big company decision, like a corporate decision, be it a very, family life decision, be it something about your relationships, a decision in that. No matter what you want to decide on, no matter where you want to get, you will always find an n number of possibilities to get that. And you will also find n number of problems to avoid getting there and make excuses, right? But again, it is completely up to you. Where do you want to get with it? And like I said, since we are constantly, because we are human and we are social animals, we are always going to be surrounded by people, right? When we are surrounded by people, beginning with our parents, our prime family, our siblings, if you have kids, when you are surrounded by so many people, of course, at some point or the other, you're going to tend to have a conflict, right? So certain people prefer living with that conflict for however long that it is, that I would rather die than talk to this person or face this person again. I would rather, all those things. Now that is coming from ego. And ego is one of the scariest, the biggest concerns that we are facing in this world today. Each one of us has small, large, medium, whatever quantity of ego, but each one of us has that, including me while I'm speaking of it. Each one of us are flawed that way. Each one of us has that ego. But when there is a conflict in any relationship, be it at work, be it at home, be it with your parents, siblings, anyone, right? You need to ask yourself, what is bigger? What is more important? Is it the ego or is it the relationship? Which one has more importance in your life? And even if 1% of your heart is bending towards the relationship, even if there's a slightest voice in your head that's telling you that, no, the relationship is a little more important to me, let go of the ego. You would do a lot good to the world by letting go, or at least, lessening, minimizing your ego to whatever extent that you can, or even I can, right? So yes, it's very common to have conflict in relationships, but what's also important is that we shouldn't be carrying those conflicts, because, I think, again, this is a fact which all of us know, but I think, we all behave like it's something that we don't know. We all know that we are born and we have very limited amount of time. The fun part is none of us knows how much time do we have. And like older generations, like our grandparents and great grandparents, thankfully they had a good health. They could live 70 years and beyond. And look at us, look at the world we are in. We don't know how long we are going to last, right? So therefore, each one of us has limited time. And in that limited time, we tend to think that, oh, I have like at least 50, 60 years more to live. At least we are living our lives that way, like, we have too many sunrises to see. And therefore, we are still holding on to the ego. We are still holding on to the conflict. Believe me, it's not worth it. And if a part of you, even if a tiny part of you, is agreeing to what I'm saying right now, the best way to resolve a conflict is through communication, right? Not just communication, effective communication. Now, when you're trying to communicate with someone, say, of course, when you're trying to resolve a conflict, one of the things that you might want to say or you might have to say is that you're sorry, right? There are various ways of saying sorry. You might be like, hello, I'm the one who's trying to resolve the conflict in the first place, so I need not be all that sweet. I can just say, you know what, I'm sorry. Or you could be like, it's okay. You know what, I'm just trying to resolve the conflict. I might as well, just be humble. And I'm like, you know what, I wronged. I am sorry. It's not about what you say. It is about how you say it. Even the words, these 3 words, I am sorry, can be said in so many different ways, in an angry way or with your ego, or you can be humble and kind and polite and respectful, and you can still say sorry, right? Especially when we are talking to elders or our parents, they expect us to be humble and kind. In fact, I would say, no matter whom you are communicating with, in school, I'm sure each one of us must have learned that being polite, being humble, being kind, being respectful, these are good qualities to have. And let's get more of these qualities in us, right? So when we are trying to communicate with someone, especially in a conflict situation, let's try to have more of these qualities. Let's try to get rid of the ego. And again, the key factor here is it's not what you say, it is how you say it. Okay. And the power of allowing to be heard. I think this is the need of the hour. This topic really needs to be spoken about. Now, so often we feel, and one of the reasons I'm including all these topics is because of the kind of questions that I've also received uh, uh, through the registration forms, right? So most often we complain that, this person hurt me in such a bad manner. I was just trying to do good. My parents are being so controlling and they're trying to hurt me, or my siblings, or my partner, or whoever. Now, what you need to realize here is they are not hurting you. You are doing that to yourself. Let that sink in. They are not hurting you. You are giving them the permission. You are allowing yourself to be hurt. Let me remind you again. Your life has to be and is in your control. Until and unless you give the power to someone else to hurt you, you cannot be hurt. Okay? So say I am standing at the door and a courier boy comes in and he says, "Ma'am, hello, nice to see you. There's a parcel for you." And I ask, "What's there in the parcel?" Nothing much, just a few mean words, just a few name calling, a few judgments, a few sweet little abuses also. Yeah, that's all. I have the power to choose whether I want to receive it or not. I'll be like, "Nako, thank you." And I shut the door. It's my life. It's in my control. I will decide whether I should allow you to hurt me or no. But what happens is we do not know actually that the power of controlling our life lies with us. The remote is in our hand. And most often, what do we say? No, it's fate, like Gopal sir also said, it's destiny. I was destined to be that hurt. I was destined to cry last night. I was destined to be depressed. I'm so sorry, I'm not using the word depression or depressed very loosely. Been there, done that, so I know it. I'm not trying to use it loosely. But coming back, the remote is in your hand, right? You need to take control of your life. You need to decide, do you even want to give the power for somebody else to be able to hurt you, right? So while someone is saying whatever that person is saying, one, if you go back to the first slide of acceptance, you will realize that even before acceptance comes self-awareness. And if you already know who you are, then those words shouldn't hurt you. Most often what happens is when someone is trying to say something mean to you, "Snehal, you're very egoistic, you're this, you're that." If it is hurting you, there is some truth to it. Guys, I'm just going to sip some water. Yeah. I'm sorry. So if whatever this person is saying to me, if it's hurting me, even a tiny bit, there is some amount of truth to it. Otherwise, why should it hurt me? If you are aware of who you really are, if you are aware of your good, of your bad, of your ugly, of everything that you are, if you already know that, if I know that if my best friend is saying that, you've changed, you've become so self-centered, so self-absorbed, you are so egoistic, I would ask myself, am I really that? No, I know for sure. I know myself and I know that I'm not egoistic. I know I'm not self-centered. If anything, I'm completely opposite of that. If I know, I'm really sorry. If I know these things about myself, what the other person says about me, how does that even matter? The only voice, the only opinion that should actually matter is what I think about myself. Power lies within me. Somebody else cannot tell me who I am. I know myself. I have been living this life. I have been having these experiences. So how can you tell me and how and why should I buy it? Right? So guys, I'm just going to take this one break. I really need to have water. Just give me a minute. Really sorry. Apparently, I have been talking too much for too long. But yes, this needs to be spoken. Yeah. So here I am. Could one of the panelists please unmute themselves and tell me that I'm visible and that I'm audible? All is okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's visible and audible also.
Beautiful. Okay. Guys, please don't mind me taking my water breaks and giving a little cough here and there. Just been talking for too long. Anyway, yeah. So back to the point, the remote of your life is in your hands. Remember that. Realize that. Now that you know it, realize that. And always remember that. The remote of your life is in your hands. Who can hurt you? Again, the power is with you. If you decide that I don't want to accept this parcel, no one is going to put you at the gunpoint and say, hello, I am hurling abuses at you. You are supposed to feel hurt. Cry, cry. If you decide that, no, it's not hurting me. Oh my God, you've been saying such mean things, but it's not hurting me. No one is really going to put a gun to your head. The power lies within you, right? The sooner you realize this, believe me, your life will change, like your life will take a beautiful turn, right? At least because your feelings, you'll start feeling better things in life the moment you realize this. Moving on. One of, or rather, the topmost topic in my list of favorite topics, which is called the choice. Remember, even in the previous slide, I said, your life, your choice, it's your life. The remote lies within you. So your life, the way you want to live it is your choice. Your life has been the way it has been, or how it's going to be. It's purely because of the choices you've made. Now, there are certain people who might come to me, especially students, who might say that, ma'am, hello, I wanted to pursue arts, but my parents said, no, 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 management has a lucrative job career and all of that. But remember, it's your life, it's your choice. I understand that you might say it's very easy for you to say, you know, when your parents are after you and they're forcing you. Again, going back to this slide, if you are not happy making a decision which others are expecting you to make, it's a conflict situation. You can communicate your point across in the way that you feel is right, which is, again, I would expect it to be humble, kind, respectful, polite, right? You can always do all of that. You can always communicate in whichever way possible and still stand your ground and still say that this is the choice I am making. In your life, the byproduct of choice is blame. You cannot ever in your life blame somebody else for what is happening in your life. If I say, oh my God, I woke up late because my kids, they kept me up all night. No, I chose to wake up late. If I wanted to wake up on time, I could have set an alarm. There are so many different ways. Knowingly or unknowingly, you are making that choice. You are coming up with problem thinking. You are coming up with n number of excuses. Think about it. Maybe it's hard hitting, but your life is the way it is currently because of the choices that you have made. If you think that you are unwell or you're feeling low mentally, you've made that choice. I'm not saying that, you know, it's certain things we are born with, in case if it's a disability or something, certain things we're born with. But after that, the life remote, the choice is up to you. It's your life. You need to choose. If I am not feeling so good, if I am having anxiety attacks, if I am having my lows of depression, the choice lies within me to realize that I need to do something about it. The fact that I can ask somebody for help, it is my choice. If I've had a loss of a loved one, if I've had a breakup, it is my choice whether I want to keep holding on to it and sulk about it, or if I want to learn lessons from that situation, get up and start afresh. If I've had a bad relationship, I could be in that relationship complaining for the rest of my life that this person has been doing these things to me. Or you could decide to walk out. It's as simple as that. If you do not want to walk out, you have already made the choice of being in that situation. It's your choice. And if you've already chosen to be in that situation, might as well do that with a smile. Another reminder. It's your choice. Come to think of it, everything, whether you are choosing to be happy or not to be happy, even if you've chosen to be fearful of COVID, it's a choice that you have made. You've given into your perception. You've not given it much neutral thought. No matter what you've chosen, it's again your choice. So therefore, no matter what happens in your life, think about it. Keep asking yourself, why did I choose this? Or how did this happen? The bottom answer, the bottom line would always be somewhere, knowingly or unknowingly, you gave into it, and it is a choice that you made. Happiness is also a choice. While you've taken the first step of coming and joining this webinar, of finding out different ways to be happy, I am only going to give you this, these pointers and tell you, these are the ways you can be happy. This is how you can reduce or minimize your stress. Ultimately, the choice is yours. I have chosen to be happy. Like Gopal sir said, I mean, life throws lemons at everyone, guys. The good news is that we are not alone. We are all together in this. Each one of us has some or the other unpleasant issue, unpleasant situation happening. Whether you want to call it a problem, I wouldn't want to call it a problem, particularly because I think every lock comes with a key. Every problem will come with a solution. Every situation has an answer and has something beautiful to learn from. Why not smile? Life is throwing lemons at each one of us. Each one of us. I have chosen to be happy. Believe me, I'm not just saying that to, just to preach something that I'm not practicing. I have literally chosen to be happy. I wake up every morning. I wake up. There are some days when you don't feel so good. But those are the days when you got to be strong, when you got to make a stern choice, when you got to tell yourself, hello, open your eyes. You see the beautiful view from your window? You see the AC is still running? You see the branded clothes that you're wearing? The fact that you have a beautiful family, the fact that you have a shelter? That's so much to be grateful for. What is it that you have to complain? It's okay if you woke up with a grumpy mood, but I still choose to be happy. Happiness is a choice, and you've got to make that. And if you've made a choice to be happy, smile. Smile right now. I'm watching all of you. Okay? And again, a beautiful point. What is it that you want to be? What is it that you want to do? Again, you want to be maybe an artist, an entrepreneur, parent, monk, traveler, whatever. You just may want to just be, do nothing and just be happy. No matter what is it that you want to be or whatever it is that you want to do. Most of us are leading an unhappy life because we are doing more of those things which make us unhappy. Just imagine, what if you start doing more of the things which make you happy? I mean, seriously, I don't even have to spell it out. If these things make you happy, and if you start doing more of those things, the end result is that you're going to be happy. Isn't that all of us, what all of us want? Isn't that the reason why all of us are here? Ask yourself, look at your day, look at your schedule, look at how your just your previous 1 year or 1 month has been. Ask yourself, what is it that really gives you that joy? If it is spending time with your family or spending time with your pets, if it is helping people, if it is even taking a nice afternoon nap or watching something on Netflix or cooking or whatever that is, that really brings you that eternal happiness. How much of that have you really done in your life on an everyday basis? Because we have to be happy every day. We are born to be happy. We are going to live happy. We're going to die happily. That's the aim, right? So what is stopping you from being what you need to do, what you need to do to be happy? Ask yourself, again, going back to this slide, it's a choice. If you say, for example, I love to dance, okay? It's a form of expression. You get to release a lot of emotions. There's just so much more meaning to dance than there is to just 1, 2, 3, 4, right? For me, dance is a way of expressing yourself, right? So if dance really brings that kind of happiness to me, how much of it have I really done even in the past 1 month or 1 year? This should come, or this is actually very obvious. I need not even spell that out. If it is that you want to be happy, you need to do more of the things that makes you happy. Ultimately, ask yourself at whichever point of life you are in, okay? If you are a young adult, if you are a teenager, if you are in whichever age bracket, no matter how much of life you have left, how much of time you have left over here, ask yourself, how do you see yourself living the rest of your life? What is it? If, say, you're cooking a biryani, ask yourself, if my life is a biryani, what all are the ingredients that I want to see in this life? What are the ingredients that I want to put into this biryani? And put exactly those. I, like, say, you may have certain toxic people in your life. If these people are such that you can get rid of them by just, just blocking them without saying a word, without having any conflict, if you can just avoid these people, you should do that, right? If these people or these situations aren't bringing you any peace, any joy, if anything, they're just doing opposite of that. Why are you still holding on to these things? Therefore, it is essential that spend some time with yourself. Again, you can take this up as an exercise. You can jot this down. You can write down what is it? What is the kind of life that you want to lead? You may want to lead the life of a monk. You may just want to be by yourself and just explore spirituality. If you want to, if that is what you want to be, then what is it that you need to do? This is more like goal setting. What is the goal in your life? It could be anything. And believe me, you can be, or you can have, you can do, or you can be anything that you want to be. Believe me, it just, once again, let me remind you, it's the mental conditioning that's happened to all of us. Until we don't know about this concept of mental conditioning and how it has hampered our peace, our growth, and whatnot, we don't realize this. But literally, believe me when I say this, you can be anything that you want to be. You can do anything that you want to do. Okay. Now, most of us have been told that earning money is very difficult. You need to struggle your entire life and then you will be able to earn money and be settled and retirement. Most of us have heard this and we tend to believe that. Which rule book says this, that earning money is very difficult? Which rule book says that being in a long-lasting marriage is difficult, or having kids is difficult, or raising kids, or being a parent, or being a daughter, being a child? It's all the mental conditioning. You have believed what you wanted to believe. You have believed what you found convenient to believe, right? If you think earning money is easy, it's going to be easy. If you think earning money is going to be difficult, it is going to be difficult. It all depends upon what is your focus, what is it that you believe in. If you think life is easy, life is good, I am happy, I am ecstatic, it is going to be just that. If I think, oh, I don't know, after this webinar, oh, I don't know, I gave all this gyan, but now what? Life is going to be exactly that. Again, reminder, the remote control is in your hand. You need to tell yourself what is it that you want to be, who is it that you are, what is it that you want your life to be like. Even if you're 70 years old, if you want to still become a millionaire, do the problem and possibility thinking. I'm sure there are n number of ways you can be there, you can get there, but you need to choose what is it that you want to be. You need to be sure of what is it or how you want your life to be. And you need to make your choices accordingly. Be determined and walk on the way. Even if you take this one step, because you are one action away from changing your life. Once you've found out that this is what you want in your life, you are literally, my friends, you're literally one step away, one action away from changing your entire life. Even if you take only one step every hour or every day, you are at least one step closer to your goal. Can you look at it that way? You're still closer, even if it means it's only a step. You're still a step closer towards reaching your goal. Now let's start taking those steps, maybe one step a day. Shouldn't be difficult. By the end of the year, you would have already walked 365 steps, not a small number, all towards reaching your goal. Can you understand what that means? however big, small, tiny, dull, fancy, whatever is your dream, whatever is that you want your life to be, please plan and bring that to action. If you're only going to be dreaming about it, believe me, you're going to enjoy your dreams. But bringing them into reality is certainly going to require action. It's going to require some efforts. And it comes, these dreams come to fruition most of the times. It happens outside your comfort zone where the magic really begins. If you ask, people who've not worked out or exercised for a long, long time, and then if you tell them that, come on, from tomorrow we are going to exercise, mostly the person will come up with a lot of excuses, that, I don't know, I'm not sure, I lack confidence, I don't want to go out like that. So many reasons, right? But outside of your comfort zone, that's where magic begins. Believe me, guys, you need to say these affirmations to yourself. You need to remind yourself. You need to picture yourself achieving that goal and imagine the joy on your face, the happiness, the contentment that you would have. You need to picture yourself there. You need to get up, no matter how lazy you feel, no matter how tired you feel, no matter what you feel. If you're determined to get towards your goal, take at least one step a day. Get out of your comfort zone and get up and do it, and you will get there. Sooner or later, you will get there. And when you've decided to get there, when you've decided to take action, do it now. Once again, a reminder, each one of us has limited amount of time here. While I may look young to you, we don't even know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow to see the beautiful sunrise. None of us knows this. So whatever little thing it is, if that's making you happy, if dancing is making you happy, finish this webinar. Make sure you stay till the end. Once the webinar is done with, play a song, dance your heart out, dance like no one's watching. But don't postpone joy. It's not worth it. It's not worth living your life without feeling happiness, without feeling the joy. That is something that should be coming naturally to us, no? But we've forgotten all of that. And we need to start reliving our life like that by being happy. And if you want to be happy, do not postpone this at any cost. Start doing it now. Whatever your plans are, whatever that action is, think about it, plan it, and do it now. Do not postpone it. Because believe me, once you're even halfway through the goal, no, you're going to pat your back and say, I am so glad I took that first step. I am so proud of myself for having taken that first step. If you want to get there, do it now. Okay. And by that, I'm going to end my pointers of how to find happiness. And I'm going to ask my student Shreya to please help me answer a few questions. Now, we've taken down, So I've taken down a few, all the questions. I've clubbed them into mini questions. Okay, so these questions are from the registration forms that we've received. If you fill the registration form, you know that, I had asked you if there's any particular question you want me to answer. Okay, so because of the paucity of time, we've taken only those questions. But I promise you, if you have any comment, any other question that you would want me to answer while you're watching this video on YouTube, please comment with your question in the comment section, and I promise you that I will, at the earliest possible, I will get there and I will answer that question. Okay. Now, Shreya, if you could please help me with the list of our questions.
Sure. So to start with, our enemy, that is anger, that comes in between, gaining happiness. So yeah, how to control anger? What is it that makes us angry? Tips on anger management, or when a person's behavior with others can affect their happiness, and something that don't happen according to our point of view, which causes mood swings, how to handle them.
Okay. So once again, because I assumed that the session would go longer, therefore I've already written down this answer. So whoever is watching this session and to whomever this question belongs to, you could probably take a screenshot of this and you know that the answer is already there. Okay. So like I said, for any situation in your life, always go back to step one. Okay. So before accepting also, you need to understand, you need to become self-aware of what if you are getting angry, good that you've accepted that yes, anger. I mean, actually, kudos to the ones who've spoken or who want to know more about anger management, right? At least you acknowledge that there is an issue and that can be improved, right? Or if there are mood swings which happen when people don't act as per you or according to your point of view. I think most of which I've already answered in the previous slides. But first step is becoming aware of what is it that really triggers you, right? So if someone is lying to you, if someone is cheating on you, or or any if there's manipulation, if someone is not coming on time, whatever be the reason that's making you angry, you need to observe yourself for say a week or however long for you to find those answers and understand what is it that's really making you angry, what is it that's triggering you. Okay, once you have the trigger points, then you can ask yourself that why is it that I get so triggered when someone comes late? I mean, it has to do something with, I mean, that's the way your mind has been conditioned. I hope you understand that by now, because I've been repeating the conditioning of mind for so long that you may understand that your mind has been conditioned in such a way that some people are absolutely okay waiting for others to arrive, while some people get agitated. Hello, you don't respect my time, and this person is still not arrived, and all of that, and that makes them angry. But you need to understand what has happened in the past, probably in your childhood, or something that has made you believe that if someone is not reaching on time, then you are supposed to behave in this way. Maybe you have seen somebody in your family, somebody who has, or even in your peers, in your friend circle, you must have seen somebody playing this kind of a role in front of you, and you have believed that, oh, I completely idolize this person, so this is how, when somebody is late, this is how you're supposed to behave. Usually this is what happens. Even if it's not just about anger, if it is about any other issue, try to relate it. You usually take up qualities knowingly, unknowingly, mostly unknowingly. You pick up these qualities from the people in your life, from the experience that you've had, right? And that is how it works. Now, after that, once you've understood the root cause of it, then only complete acceptance of that particular situation, of you choosing that particular trait from that particular relative of yours, or you have to completely accept that part about yourself and start working on how to reduce that. Because once you've acknowledged that I wasn't born with this conditioning, God didn't send me here saying, hello, if someone comes late, you're supposed to get angry. Boom, that is the quality I'm giving you. None of us were born that way with those qualities, right? So you need to understand that these are the reasons why you're being triggered. Once you acknowledge those, once you accept those, try observing how you are reacting anymore, right? So I certainly feel that once you have completely acknowledged and accepted the triggers, I doubt the anger bursts will happen again. Okay. And when if some things don't happen according to your point of view, it's causing mood swings and you don't know how to handle them. I think I spoke quite a bit about others' point of view. It does not really matter. What matters is what you are telling yourself. And it's also important to respect that everyone is going to have their own point of view, and they are not wrong. While they're having that point of view, they are not wrong. So most often this issue happens with parents and kids, because of the generation gap, all of that. Kids might tend to think that my parents don't understand me and they don't understand my point of view. The parents might think that this generation, they think they know it all, and they don't understand where we are coming from. What I can tell you here in this situation is just understand that both these parties, the parents and the kids, both these parties mean well for each other. I would give a little more onus to the parents. I would, parents, for all the kids who are listening to this or who are going through this kind of a situation, please know that, this topic, finding happiness, moment you are born, that is the prime agenda of every parent. I want my kid to have the happiest life possible. No matter what lens do they go to make sure that happens for you. No matter how controlling they behave with you, no matter how they are behaving with you. But I think the prime agenda of every parent, and I can say this as a proud daughter and as a proud mother, every parent's first agenda, the prime or the only motto of their life is to see my kids happy. So just try to understand their point of view as well, understand it, respect it, and take it on from there. Okay? Yeah. Shreya, next question, please.
Yeah, so you being the beautiful mother to these very cute two daughters you have, and I think
Yes.
you're the perfect person to answer this question. So, how to stay calm with kids even though they are repeatedly doing the same
Yeah. So,
mistake?
yeah, I think if the person who's answered this, or the person who's asked this question, I have taken the liberty to assume that by saying kids, I think you're meaning a little, teenagers, maybe, because I have toddlers, and if you're talking about toddlers, then hello, welcome to motherhood. This is what life is. Welcome to parenthood, rather. This is how life is. Kids are going to keep doing, I mean, toddlers, right? They're going to keep doing that. You just have to breathe, meditate, and just let go if your toddlers are doing that and if that's irritating you. But moving on to a more serious aspect, if you think that you are being bothered by your teenage adult, or a teenager or someone of that age, and as a parent, if that's troubling you, then let's understand that the more we nag them, the more you nag your kids constantly or remind them constantly of the mistakes that they have been repeating, the more you are going to be pushing your kids away. I mean, I think if the kids are listening to this, the young adults, the teenagers are listening to this, I think they can very well relate to what I'm saying. At this age, we've all been there, we've done that, we are quite repulsive. If our parents ask us to not do a particular thing, we would want to do more of it, because that's the repulsion, that's how we want to behave. But as for the parents, I would ask them to understand the kids point of view also, right? Please understand that this generation really does not have it as easy and as how it used to be. The competition is tough, true friendships are very rare. There's just so much going on in this generation, the kids in their lives in this generation, it's difficult for them to keep pace with what's happening, right? So all I can say is, ultimately you mean good for your kids, right? The kid means well, you guys love each other. So I would suggest that you have a one-to-one communication, sorry. Yeah. So you have a one-to-one, you sit down, you have this communication. While communicating, remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Try to make an effort to understand why is your kid constantly behaving or repeating the same mistakes. I'm sure that none of us are crazy enough to do that repeatedly, whatever the mistake is. Try to understand why is your kid doing that. Try to understand why is it so important for him or her to repeat that particular mistake. Spend time to understand your kid, to understand the situation, understand the person, tell them that it's okay to make mistakes and take it forward from there. But you all need to do it with love and compassion, because ultimately both of you, the parents and the kids, mean well for each other, right? Yeah. Shreya?
Yes, ma'am. So sometimes, like, our intention is one thing, but the outcome is something else, or we drift apart, or something happens, and the result is something else. So yeah, when we are trying to help someone by correcting their mistakes, and that person doesn't understand and reacts indifferently to that, so how will we tackle that situation according to you?
Okay, I think I've touched upon this previously as well. Again, it's all a game of perspectives. Now, you're trying to help someone by correcting their mistake. So you have already assumed that you are right and the person is wrong in whatever you are, whatever that person is doing. Certain things are very obvious that certain things are very wrong, right? Like as parents, you might think that, few habits are, you're going to call them wrong, right? So from that perspective, if you're going to look at it, or I'm going to see if it's from a friendly perspective, if it's happening between two friends, point number one is swear by this, okay? Never, ever give an advice or a suggestion to anyone without being asked for. If you're just giving gyan, if you're trying to be friendly, if you're even trying to help out, the person does not need it. If the person would have required that, he or she would have asked for your help. If someone is not asking for your help, understand the boundaries. understand that this person is okay handling the situation by himself. So if your advice or suggestion is not asked for, keep it to yourself. Understand, we all know that you mean well for this person. But if you want to save yourself from creating unpleasant situations, keep the advice to yourself. The moment it is asked for, or if it is an absolute emergency, you should really not wait for the person to ask. But if it is something that you can let go of, keep the opinion to yourself. I mean that in a very polite way. I'm sorry if it sounded like that, but remember, like I said in the previous slides also, our perspective towards any situation is made by our thoughts and beliefs from our previous experiences. So what may be right to you can be absolutely right or wrong to somebody else. So when you're trying to give your suggestion or your advice, you may mean that you're trying to help this person, but the person may be thinking about it as a completely wrong advice. It's all a game of perspectives again. So that is what you need to accept here and let go. Yeah, Shreya.
So the three differentiating factors between happiness and satisfaction.
Right. So I think because we want to still rush with time, I think I'm just quickly just going to be reading these answers the way they have been mentioned here. Okay, that'll cut a lot of time. So yes, the three differentiating factor, because we think that happiness, we try to think that, okay, if I'm content with the way my life is, we tend to think I'm happy. But no, these are two completely different things, but with a thin line, I would say. Okay. So happiness is a state of mind, while satisfaction is the absence of want, the need to know or to have more. One can be happy even if his wants are not met, while he can be satisfied without necessarily being happy, right? Either or, with or without each other. And happiness can be shared by others, whereas satisfaction is to be felt by oneself, right? If you're happy, you may want to phone up people and talk about what makes you happy. But if you're satisfied, that's a very private feeling. That is something only you can feel or justify for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So six simple steps to be happy. What do I need to change in order to be happy? And relationship of food and happiness.
Yes. I'm just
So
quickly
this
just
is
going
really
to read
interesting.
this
I don't
out.
know how.
Yeah. So, but I can assure you, I spent a lot of time last night writing the best possible answer for you. So even if I'm reading it out, just please understand that it is all me who's put in the efforts to write this answer for you. Okay. So do more of what makes you happy as long as it's causing no harm to yourself and to others. Exercise, it's very important, not because of COVID-19, but exercise helps you release the endorphins. Endorphins are a set of happy hormones. Okay. So it is science. These hormones actually make you feel happy. So once you exercise, you tend to feel happy, whether you like it or not, that's the fact. Help as much as possible in whatever capacity and with a genuine intention. Please, when you're trying to help someone in need, please don't think it's going to win you some brownie points in karmas, because that's not your intention. If you genuinely feel that, oh, this person is in need, I should really help, that is the right intention. If you think that, oh, I need to help someone, click a picture, put it on social media, get more followers, not the right intention. So I hope you understand what do I mean by differentiating between the right intention, right? Make a list of all the things that you're grateful for. Point number 4, like I already said, that's the shortcut to be happy. Eat right, and that's the relationship between food and happiness, because eat right and eat mindfully, and eat less, but eat very often, because eating too helps in releasing the endorphins or the happy hormones that we are talking about, and live an honest life. By honest life, I'm not expecting you all to be ultra truthful, but live the life that makes sense to you. Don't live the life that others are expecting out of you. Like with for the current generation, I would say, half the time, when I see pictures of food being posted of, or showing airport pictures that I'm flying, what is it that you're trying to say? For whom is it that you are trying to show the world that, hello, look, please don't think that I'm down in the dumps. Please don't think that, I'm going through a crappy life. I'm living the best life. Why? Live an honest life. Live it for yourself. If you are living it for someone else, if you're living it to show it to the world, you're not living an honest life. Don't do something just because it is expected out of you. Just because my friends are going to that party or are going to that concert, I don't feel like it, but I have to because of peer pressure. You're not leading an honest life. And if you're not leading an honest life, happiness, the butterfly is going to be way, way, way away. It's going to be running away from you. So say whatever is on your mind. Say it the way it is meant to be said. Say it in a polite, respectful, humble manner. But speak up and live your life the way you want to live your life. That's how you start living an honest life. Yeah, Shreya.
Intense one. Can happiness buy us wealth?
Yes, one of our own DY Patil students asked me this, and I was so happy that Gopal sir himself answered this question right in the beginning when he said that, yes, when you are happy, obviously you are more successful because you are happy doing whatever makes you happy, and you'll have great ideas, you'll have a great spirit doing the things that you're doing. So, yes, when you're happy doing the job that you're doing, the chances of you doing well are relatively higher. Plus, when you're happy, you're attracting better things in your life, right? The law of attraction, you want to know more about that, right? Yeah.
How to find happiness in a day-to-day activities and work life? How to find happiness in simple things and how to treasure those feelings and how to consistently be happy, like during the process and before the goal is achieved, yet to be
Right.
achieved.
So you can find more joy and happiness by doing things, by doing more of what really makes you happy. The other powerful way to find happiness in day-to-day activities is by living in the moment. We, very rarely we are actually living in the moment. Most of the time, you or we are living in our head, okay? Thinking of what could be, and if I would have chosen this, I would have had a happier life. We are constantly living in the head. We are reminiscing past memories, most often not the pleasant ones. Okay, so what we need to realize is all of that is done with, it's gone, the future is not even here yet. So rather than living in the head, let's start living in the now. When you're living in the now, if you concentrate on what's really happening around you at this present moment, by living in the moment, you will certainly find more happiness in all the small little things that you're doing. But you're not finding that happiness right now because you're not even focusing on that. You don't even know what you're doing right now because you're living in the head. So, yes, living in the moment. Yeah.
Happiness begins with you. Can you please elaborate?
Yes, it most certainly does. Anything and everything begins internally, and happiness also. It begins with you. Like I said earlier, every day, each one of us has a choice, and nobody else can choose that for us. By the end of the day, it's our own choice to do whatever that is that you want to do with your life and how you want to feel, which emotions you want to feel. You can pick and choose. Nobody else can do it for you unless you command your mind to do whatever you've chosen to be happy. And if not, if because we are running short of time also, I could post these answers on YouTube as well.
Yes.
Sir, ma'am, could I?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, you're audible. There
Yeah,
was some disturbance.
yeah. So, Gopal sir and Vani ma'am, I'd like to ask you, is it okay if we could still go ahead with the questions?
Nehal, I feel that you can just change the slides.
Yes. Is
Yeah.
it?
Just
Yeah.
change the slides and keep the slides on for a few minutes. So I
Okay.
think everyone will be able to see that.
Right. Yeah. If not, ma'am, we could even end the session, and I could post these question and answers in the comment box
Yes,
of the
yes.
YouTube link.
I think that would be better, Snehal.
Yes, sir. Because we have quite a few questions, sir.
So it's better that you put it on the YouTube and let people read it during the leisure time.
Definitely,
And your
sir.
answers are more or less self-sufficient, and
Yes, the session has covered most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sir. So before I end, I would just want to give a humble reminder to each one of you that You'll always win in life when you move with love and genuine intentions. And that's guaranteed, always, right? We need more, our world, all of us need more of love and kindness and humility right now, especially during these tough times and for the entire life ahead. So please, let's spread more of happiness now that you know how to be happy. Let's spread more of that. Let's spread more joy. Let's spread more love. And if you feel that you should, if you feel the need to contact me, if you feel that you may require a session, a counseling session with me, or if you just want to have any question answered, please feel free to get in touch with me here. Yeah, over to you, Sapna ma'am.
Thank you so much, Snehal, for such a wonderful session on happiness.
Yeah.
Before place my thanks and end this session, I would once again like to mention that we at D.Y. Patil Deemed to be University School of Management have a 3-year BBA course, admission for which is open. We have a 2-year MBA course for admission for which is open. So whoever wishes to take admission in our University School of Management can get in touch with us. I would now like to place my thanks to the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and the President of the University for giving the opportunity to conduct this session. I would also like to place my thanks to Professor Dr. R. Gopal, Director and HOD of D.Y. Patil Deemed to be University School of Management, Dr. Vani Kamath, Dean of DYPUSM, Snehal Dumre, who was a spokesperson for today's session on finding happiness. I would also like to place my thanks to the faculty members and the participants who have made this event quite successful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much once again.
And a small reminder for the next week's session, Swapna.
Yes, sir, yes. We do have the upcoming webinars which are there on the coming Saturday and the Sunday. So wish to see you all on those days. You have a